Hey folks, good morning. Welcome to Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. The free to play today is the 4th September. Should be the 3rd. This is going to be the video for the 3rd. It's going to take some getting used to that. Thanks for being here. Appreciate all of you. I want to let you know I watched Arnold's thing about the requirements for Hondo, which, I mean, aside from this, we got the whole thing with Jordan Norwood and all this stuff. But, I mean, not Captain Swgoh, not Jordan Norwood. And we get the requirements, which are fine. I mean, I'm not getting them anytime soon. Why? Because the real gatekeeper here, I mean, it's really not too hard, really. None of this is. The only thing that's kind of hard is General Skywalker, but I'm sure a lot of you have him. I don't know when I'm going to pick him up, but all these others, you know, obviously we got a brand new marquee. We got brand new marquee here. We got marquee, and then marquee. Everybody else is pretty easy to get. You know, you got Hondo, Vid, Chewie, Ezra, Rey, Sharut, General Kenobi, Dooku, Bosk, and Rey's Millennium Falcon. So none of that's hard. The relics might be a little, you know, you might have to put forth some effort for that, but all in all, it's not too crazy a kit. But and I would just want to compare this to Ahsoka's kit, which, you know, it wasn't too hard. You had, you know, we're getting to a point where Hu Ying's going to become farmable. Plo Koon is easy to get. General Syndulla, we're not quite to double drops for her yet, but she should be coming before the end of the year. Padawan, I think Sabine should be the next one now that Great Mothers is farmable, maybe. I don't know. Barriss is obviously fairly easy. I could get her pretty quickly because I have her. Rex is, you know, whatever. Fulcrum's not hard. Ezra's not hard because you need him for Hondo, so there's some overlap there. Dark Trooper Pretty is double farmable. I think Captain Enoch should be soon. The hardest one is really Cat, which in my mind makes me think that Hondo might be easier than getting Cat. Night Trooper is double farmable. Asajj is basically free. General Skywalker. I mean, there's General Skywalker again, so for me, I'm thinking that Hondo is easier to get than Ahsoka is. You may disagree, but there's that. And then Snips is free too. So you just play the game. You just go buy Snips and you're golden. But yeah, other than that, everything's pretty good. Kix is obviously in the Chromiums, big deal. Athano is in Fleet 1, is in a fleet battle for 1A. That's very accessible for him. Then we have the Great Mothers double farmable. That's good. Other than that, we're just doing the thing that we keep doing every day. We get some other Dark Trooper radio shard there. But you know, I watched Arnold, like I said, I watched Arnold's video, and he's talking about this, and he's talking about the double and triple drops where you have to have Pirate King Hondo, and I mean, it's, you know, it's kind of dumb that just it's cash grab. It's a more cash grab. It's like, hey, if you want double and triple drops, you need Pirate King Hondo, and I'm like, he's talking about it. I'm like, of course, sure. Makes total sense that you would need Pirate King Hondo, because that's the way of the world, right? You think it would be something that they would want to help free to play players or low spenders to incentivize them to spend more, right? I would think so. I don't know. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? I'm sure they do make quite a bit more off of whales than they do trying to incentivize free to players to give them a little bit more money. And I guess I understand that. I guess I respect that, but it's just kind of it's also kind of like soul crushing a little bit. Can we be honest? It's more than a little soul crushing when you see that. Hey, that was a big 20 that we got in terms of Kairos. But I mean, guys, all of this, I keep saying it. And for those of you who don't understand what I mean when I say this, because I'm going to say it again. I've said it more than a couple of times. By the way, they said that they fixed this bug thing about the purchasing. We'll get back into that. They didn't fix it though. But I mean, there's so much of it there's so much of life that we just make harder than it needs to be. And I'm even guilty of this. There's a lot of stuff like the whole 19 routine. My plan now is I'm going to rehash this again. My plan now is to sort of stop doing the nighttime stuff and start doing the daytime stuff. Whether that works out for me or not, but it's like I'm just making life harder than it needs to be. Why? Because I should be getting more sleep. I should be in there communicating with my wife instead of doing this. And this is I play, and it's like I can do. I have time now where I can afford to do this during the day. And so if I can do this during the day, and if I don't have to watch my kids, then the baby's down in the playpen, he's fine, or he's in bed. And it's just I have time. I got ground beef out that's thawing for dinner. I get it. In a little bit I'll go down and load the dishwasher, and when the kids want to go pick up the kids, we'll take up the trash. But I need to have more time at night to be able to watch TV, to be able to wind down, to not, because I've been a night owl, and I need to, circumstances have just dictated right now that I need to be more of a morning person, and so we're adjusting to that so I can get up and get in the shower and then get dressed and take my kids to school, and then but and there's a lot of realization that has come over time. But I'm excited about a lot of it. I'm excited about I'm just excited about stuff in general. And it really feels good to just do yourself a favor. Just look around, take inventory of your life, and ask yourself an actual question. Ask yourself this: is there some way in my life that I can make myself life a little easier, just a little bit? And I was just watching. I don't know if you guys know who Josh Pate is. He's a guy that has this college football show on YouTube. Is the name of this show is Josh Pate's College Football Show, and he's a guy that I've been watching for about 3 or 4 years. And he's just talking about when he before he got into what he's doing now, where he knew that's what he wanted to do. And he said he borrowed the money to go see Nick Saban, talking about how Nick Saban was talking about take inventory of your life, and when where you're wasting time, repurpose that into something that's purposeful, that will get you to where you want to go. And that's something that is very hard for a lot of people, but it's like, that's the way it is. If it's like, if you're wasting time, like, if you don't, if like he's not saying don't watch TV, but it's like, if there's something you want to do and there's somewhere you want to go, like maybe you're into woodworking or photography, or learning a new skill, then repurpose and watch a YouTube video on woodworking, watch a YouTube video on photography. Maybe you want to build something. Maybe you want to build your own computer. Maybe you want to build your own furniture. Maybe you want to build your own house. Maybe you're interested in off-grid living. Maybe you're interested in van life, in traveling around and living in a van and doing that stuff. Well, then there's time when you can be, when you're watching TV or other things, you can just do that instead. And I'm saying this knowing that I could be one of those things you cut. And you know what? That's fine. If I'm the guy that you needed to tell you that, hey, if there's something in life that you want to do and it takes you away from watching me, I mean, come on. I clearly, I don't have all the sound effects and the score in the background and I just play the game. And I talk to you about stuff that I just listen, and it's like whatever it is that going on in my life, or whatever it is I think you need to hear, that's what I'm going to say. And if that means that you end up leaving me by the wayside, you end up moving over and watching a show about building your own house, about off-grid living, or whatever, that's fine. That's fine. Because, everything's a season. But, and look, they didn't fix this bug. We were told that they did, but they didn't. They didn't fix the bug. The bug's still there, where it's like you have to, you do this and you have to wait. It's like, why? Because Arnold said that they fixed it, and I'm like, no, they didn't. But I'm just working my way. We're still saving up stuff for Palpatine, like we've been, to be able to finish him and take him to where we need to get him to be, in order to get us to SLKR. And then once we're to SLKR, then it becomes executor. And then we're not sure we're going to go after executive. We're going to go somewhere, but we have to finish SLKR first, and then we have to even get closer to executor. And maybe when you're much closer to executor, maybe that's the time when we're like, okay, what's next? But until then, until we get to that point, there's just no real reason in even talking about it, because we're not there yet. But we will be. Anyway, I appreciate all of you. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know. Otherwise, thank you so much for being here. God bless. Hold the line, and remember that I have friends everywhere. Bye.